listening to Sports Radio Detroit.
Hello and welcome back to Grave Discussions. We are here with episode number 23, The Devil is a Boy.
Yes, it is. And who are you?
I am Barnabas.
And I am Samael.
And real quick, we just kind of wanted to apologize for the delay in our episodes. Life happened and, that's just how it is sometimes, so I can't do anything about it. But we are back, and I'm really pumped for this episode.
Yeah, bro, I've been excited to get back into the groove, man. Like, I just found out about something recently. I mean, I've seen it in like the Hulu feed, like stuff you might like, and like it matched me up to this, but I never took a look at it until like you even mentioned it, and I was just like, damn it, now I'm hooked on Stand Against Evil. I'm hooked again on Ash. Like, I'm about to get hooked on Ash vs. Evil Dead now. And now on Castle Rock.
Yeah. Hey, man, I just know what you like, Because I like the same things. So when I see something cool, I'm like,
anything Stephen King is gold. I don't care what anyone says. Any critique there is of him, he's a fucking master.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And, I was super pumped for Castle Rock. I mean, we talked about it before.
Yes.
And even from then, I was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. But honestly, the trailer and I feel like the actual show, I don't feel like they matched up because the trailer kind of looked like way more, I don't know, like action-packed almost. But that's just how trailers are. But I really like the show, and we're going to definitely get like more in-depth on it.
I can't wait to I'm glad I just found out about it when it's starting, not when it's like 3 seasons into it. Like when I found out about that one show, Damien, and then it got canceled, and I was just like, there was also a show called Salem that was out for a minute. Then I heard it was good, and then it just ended. And
okay, was it good though?
I want to find it. I can't find it anywhere.
You know what? I think it's on Netflix.
No,
I've seen it on there before.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. You just have to search for it, but yeah, I think so.
I don't know, but they revealed it was pretty cool. They had a devil in there.
Yeah.
And he had the name Samael, so I was
nice.
That's pretty dope. And
yeah, but the whole show is about witches, right?
Yeah, it's just about real witches.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think I'm gonna try to check that out, and maybe in the future, if it's good enough, if it's good at all, we could discuss these little horror shows that kind of had their flops, but
yeah.
I think with I don't know. I think if they target the right audience with their marketing instead of just throwing it on Instagram feeds,
what show actually did that really good? And I don't want to get too into this, but I just want to say I think True Blood did that really good.
Yeah.
Because they hardcore marketed it to as basically a Twilight type show, just more edgy kind of, and not so emo.
And Vampire Diaries was super emo. I hated all that shit. Oh my god.
I hated it so much. But True Blood was actually pretty good. I actually watched the entire show, but it was definitely marketed more toward middle-aged white women kind of, because it was kind of a romance sort of thing.
Oh boy. Anyway,
let's get the show on the road with the news for you guys. The first bit of news here has to do with a brand new anthology series called Eli Roth's History of Horror.
This sounds dope.
Yeah. First of all, I think Hostel was definitely not a game changer, but it was important for horror. I think Eli Roth is definitely a genius in the genre, and I like any anthology series, so the mixture is pretty cool.
I just like that he's going to be discussing horror at its roots and the pioneers of it. It says he's going to be discussing Jamie Lee Curtis, Robert Englund, Linda Blair. Even Jordan Peele's on there, I guess because of Get Out. Had a big impact.
Quentin Tarantino, even Stephen King.
Stephen King is
the man himself.
Yeah, man.
Robert Englund.
I want to hear this because I'm a nerd for horror documentaries. I just started on Amazon Prime 50 horror movies you've never heard of.
Oh yeah,
and I've heard of all of them. Like,
of course,
you know,
yeah.
like so far. So
Since we've been doing this, we are like discovering way more obscure shit, which is
yeah.
great.
I mean, it's obscure shit I used to see at like the video store,
Yeah.
but like you could never get a handle on it because like someone rented the tape and they never got it back. So you're always like, I wonder what that movie was. And sometimes
That's
it's
how it was, yeah.
honestly, even if the movie's bad, like Final Exam, like I do not regret watching it because like.
Yeah.
It's just I don't feel like I wasted my time because like it's just an
At least I know it's out there, you know.
like, it's like nostalgia. Offerings was
Yeah.
pretty terrible. Did I ever
heard
let
that,
you?
yeah.
Did I ever give you that Blu-ray?
No, but I've heard.
Like I watched it again, like because it was on YouTube for free.
Man.
Like and oh
Yeah.
boy,
Just have to
oh
take a
boy,
deep
we've
breath there.
come a long way in
Alright,
in
okay.
terms of like how great we can act. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but yeah, all that. Oh man. Anyway, Eli Roth's History of Horror is set to come out Sunday, October 14th at midnight. So this is kind of a two-part news announcement because the next show that we have here also premieres around Halloween time, so it's perfect. And this one is Netflix's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Remember this one? We talked about it. This one seems cool. It's a more dark, kind of mature reimagining of Sabrina the Teenage Witch, basically. And it's supposed to be like really like fucking crazy and like graphic and stuff like that. So that is premiering October 26th only on Netflix. So be on the lookout for that one. Next up, we've got quite a bit of news, so we're going to try to kind of run through it. I don't think you watched the first movie of this, but Train to Busan is
No, I didn't want. I gave up. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, I gave up on zombie movies.
I feel you, but this one is actually really good. It's getting a lot more attention recently, like on Facebook even. I see a lot more people talking about this movie now. But it was a zombie movie, I think Korean, I believe. But I really liked it. There's going to be a sequel coming out, and not a lot of stuff is under wraps. Like it was just announced, so they're going to be shooting it hopefully pretty soon, and it's going to be called Peninsula. So it's probably not going to be on a train again, which is basically the whole like setting of the first movie. But we're going to see. Sounds like it might be on an island or something. I don't know. So be on the lookout for that one. Next up, this kind of sucks.
This makes me mad. I just read it.
Yeah. So
the fuck, bro?
The fucking
you couldn't break this to me. Like you could have just texted me this shit.
The fucking monsters of the film industry,
Oh,
Disney.
God,
If
I hate them so much.
Yeah, Disney
You
can fucking die.
anti-Semitic bastards.
So Disney recently acquired 20th Century Fox. If you didn't know, now you know, but it's like been in the news for a while now.
Jeez, bro.
And they are considering shutting down 20th Century Fox, and they're probably going to keep some things. Like mainly they got them because they own Marvel, but they didn't own like certain franchises like the X-Men. So now they have the X-Men, and they can like branch out the Marvel movies further and stuff. And Avatar as well, they're going to probably keep because that's a cash cow. But all of like the horror type movies and all that kind of shit, all those franchises, they might just go away. So like Alien, Predator, so many good horror movies.
Bro, this gave me like really bad anxiety.
Yeah, all those good horror movies owned by 20th Century Fox could just like go away. I mean, you probably still see them.
Sell the rights, but like they said, it's unlikely.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if Disney would allow that.
Fuck that. Give that.
Probably not.
Give the rights for fucking Alien and Predator to Netflix.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think Netflix could put up a good deal.
Dude, they have
Amazon
money.
Prime.
Look, imagine Netflix's
Amazon
budget.
is like the most fucking like wealthy. I don't know, anything.
Amazon Prime is because Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon's rich as fuck. So yeah, give it to Amazon Prime. I'm sure.
He's literally like Jeff Bezos or whatever his name is like literally the most wealthy man in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Right now, so I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I'm probably wrong, but I think so. And he loaded up the ass so he could fucking buy it. But I don't know. Anyway, nobody really knows what it means yet because it hasn't happened. But it's in consideration. But I don't know if we'll lose those movies on like streaming services, possibly, because we don't really see Disney movies on a lot of other,
That's true.
streaming services. But I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, if you're scared, go buy up your Blu-rays and shit like that now.
Oh, dude, they're gonna be a fucking rarity.
Yeah, for real. Like, fucking, oh, dude, you have the Alien box set? That's crazy. They stopped making that in the year 2007, 19 or whatever.
This weekend, I'm about to go grab, like, a few Alien movies, because
I have the first two.
I haven't watched them since I was, like, very, very young.
Yeah.
I watched Predator
So
1
good.
and 2, and
Yeah.
I haven't
Predator's
rewatched Alien or Predator since I watched them the first time.
I think 20th Century Fox has The Ninth Gate as well. Remember that one with Johnny
Yeah.
Depp? That was a good one. All those
That
movies,
one was
bro.
fucking weird.
Yeah. But anyway, just stay tuned for more potential Disney announcements. I will see what happens with that. Hopefully they can keep all that stuff, but I don't know. This next bit of news should actually cheer you up, though, because it involves a documentary
Okay.
and Friday the 13th.
No.
But guess which Friday the 13th?
The fourth one.
Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's a new documentary coming out for Jason Goes to Hell called The Dark Heart of Jason Voorhees, The Making of the Final Friday.
When is this being released?
It is in the works, and it's going to be directed by Nick Hunt and produced by Jason Goes to Hell director Adam Marcus. And it's just going to be like an in-depth look on like why the movie was made, how it was made, how it affected the director and shit like that, and like how it affected horror really in general. And there's a cool new poster out that's featuring none other than the Freddy glove, and it's got a metal Jason mask, which is sweet.
They're probably gonna dwell into that, like about the Freddy appearance, and then the Necronomicon. I can't wait to hear like what the fuck the whole deal was with that shit.
Yeah, I hope they explain it. Because the documentary's probably gonna have like archival footage and shit like that. So I don't know who's gonna be interviewed. Like Robert Englund might be interviewed, which would be cool. So we'll see. But I think that's really exciting, and that's gonna be on like my radar for sure. So, yep, be on the lookout for The Dark Heart of Jason Voorhees, The Making of the Final Friday. Next up, I'm just going to run through some trailer announcements for you guys. There's been a lot of stuff since our last episode, but I just picked out some of the more like relevant stuff. So the first one is for the Netflix animated series Castlevania.
Oh shit!
There's a new trailer out for season 2.
Oh, I saw it on my feed, but I wasn't.
It's actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah. It's really short though. It's only like 6 episodes for season 1 or something. I know like half an hour each, but
that's not bad.
But they're really cool, so you could like breeze through it in a night if you wanted to. And yeah, they're actually good. I like them. Like there's a good bit of like the video game in there, because all the action and stuff, like all the magic and shit like that is like very video game.
As long as it's not Simon's Quest, we're good.
Yeah, no.
That game was fucking shit.
It's pretty good. So be on the lookout for that. I actually didn't watch the trailer for season 2, but I'm pretty pumped about it, and I think that's coming out around Halloween as well, so that's pretty cool. The next trailer up is for a movie called Heretics. Now, this movie is kind of like a period horror movie. It actually kind of reminded me of The Nun, because it's at like a convent or something like that, and this girl who gets saved from execution basically joins this convent or whatever it is, and basically just weird shit starts happening, like ghosts, spirits, whatever, or like demons are in this convent, and they're like freaking out all the girls there, and like they have those fucking in the in like porn and shit, like those lights that are like circular.
Oh yeah. Bro. Those, okay.
Not that we know that for reasons.
Yeah, I've never been on the set of a fucking filming.
But you know what I'm talking about. Like their eyes look like that for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's fucking weird, but it looks like it might be okay. I just hope that they don't rely on jump scares too much, but it actually didn't really look like that, so I'm kind of excited about it. The next trailer is about a film called Lizzie coming out, starring Chloe Sevigny and none other than Kristen Stewart, the new indie darling herself. So I'm actually kind of excited about that one. And basically it's another Lizzie Borden movie.
Oh god, they already have one on Netflix.
I know. Yeah, with Christina Ricci, which was actually pretty good. But this one's, you know, kind of more in like that A24 style, like that really slow burn, and you know, there's just like a couple crazy ass scenes and shit like that, which is fine. Because it kind of feels like they're gonna try to explore like Lizzie Borden like a lot, because it shows her in like a lesbian relationship with Kristen Stewart's character.
Oh, they're trying to add some substance to her, huh?
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. It looks like it might be okay. I like Kristen Stewart lately and like all the indie stuff she's done, so I'm pretty excited to see her performance in that. And then the last trailer we have is Slaughterhouse Rules. And this is actually a horror comedy starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
I'm always into horror comedies. When is this already?
It's coming out. I don't know when, but I think in the UK around Halloween or something as well.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it actually looks
my phone
pretty
just
funny.
completely fucking froze.
Really? Oof. What happened?
No fucking clue.
That's weird. Anyway,
I was trying to download Bloody Disgusting and my phone was just like,
oh shit. It fucked you up, yeah. It's that Bloody Disgusting app curse. I don't know. But anyway,
no, I think
Slaughterhouse Rules.
Piece of shit.
Probably, yeah. It's starring Simon Pegg and Nick Frost of Shaun of the Dead and at The World's End fame. And I like those guys. I think they're funny.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Shaun of the Dead,
that's gonna work, yeah.
Classic. So they're in this. There's actually a couple really talented actors and actresses, but it's a horror comedy. It takes place at like basically like a Hogwarts type school, and this like sinkhole opens up in the earth in the woods and just like releases these monsters and shit, and then they have to like, you know,
of course,
like fight them and escape and stuff. But it looks pretty funny, so I'm kind of excited about that one. But yeah, I think it's about time that we move into our very first segment of the episode, none other than the Cult Corner.
Ooh, I'm happy about this one.
Yeah, I knew you would be. Halloween 2.
1981.
Yeah.
Not the piece of shit released by Rob Zombie.
No. This one directed by Rick Rosenthal.
Yes, because Carpenter didn't want to do a sequel. Like, for him, it was like done, but he's like, let's see what this guy can do with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're gonna really try to do with the Myers franchise after this new one, but we'll see. But this 1981 movie, like, this was like one of my favorite horror movies ever. Like, along with the first one, like those two are a duo to me. Like, even though, you know, a different guy played the Shape in the second one than in the first one. The second one, he's a little bit smaller, like chubbier, so he fills out the suit more. He looks a little bit more menacing because like he stretches out the mask and like the hair looks more dirty. Like he looks like he has some bullet damage from the first movie. Like, but I like in this one he's like a lot more like you get to see how like fucked up Myers is, like with all the random deaths that occur at the hospital. The one with the hammer and the security guard that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Even to this day, like
that was the one with the nurse where he like put her up against the wall and shit too, right? Yeah, that part was pretty crazy.
No, when he lifted her into the air,
with
the fucking scalpel, like,
and
then he had the infamous chase scene with Laurie throughout the hospital where she's just trying to get away from him, and Loomis shoots him again. He slices a fucking cop's throat. Oh yeah, by the way, if you haven't seen this movie, spoiler alert. So we're gonna be talking about it a lot.
I hope everybody has seen this movie. Like I would be disappointed if they didn't.
The Shape seems a little different in this movie. He's walking a lot slower than in the first one. He's walking a little bit more robotic. I think it's because of the injuries he suffered at the end of the first movie. Yeah, so.
I like how they, you know, like move that over to part 2.
Yeah, like they. Like even at the beginning of the movie, it's the end of the first movie where he gets shot, but like it's like an Easter egg. Like he gets shot off the back porch originally, but when they film the scene, at the second one, you see him like walk up a ramp and he falls off like the front balcony. Even though, you know, like if you knew like the house and how it was set up, you'd know like, hey, that's not right. You know, like But for the retake, like for no reason they had another guy fall off the balcony, like.
Yeah, I didn't really notice like that, but, you know, like Evil Dead 2, I noticed that it was different, but I didn't really notice that for Halloween 2, but that's interesting for sure.
I mean, when you think about it, it's not surprising that he survived, because, like, if he's, like, crazy and he just got shot 6 times, the balcony wasn't that high, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. But I just like how they transitioned like him over from the movie. You know, like you can tell he was kind of injured.
Yeah.
A little bit, you know, but
He
he's
had,
still like
well,
went
right-
to the hospital and shit.
My favorite scene is right off the bat at the beginning of the movie, like where he goes into this old lady's house and steals a knife off her fucking kitchen and just
Yeah.
leaves. And like she sees her knife's missing, she starts screaming, ah! And then you see
Yeah.
Michael walking up to another house where a teenage girl is, and then he, sneaks into her house while she's talking to her friend. Her friend's like, "Did you hear about that maniac that escaped?" And like
Yeah.
all of a sudden he just walks through her front door, sneaks off to the side, kills her. I really like this movie. Like I felt like as a duo, Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, like for me at least, they feel inseparable. But now that they're releasing this new one, which is a sequel to the first one, I think this new one should have been a sequel to the second one.
Oh, like it would go like Halloween 2 from 1981, then this. Yeah, but see, they're trying to play it off to where he's not her brother or whatever.
Exactly.
So, I mean, so it's kind of a different mythos a little bit.
Yeah, it really is. Even in the movie trailer, it was like an Easter egg. It's like, no, it's not her brother. It's something people made up.
Right. Yeah, people had to like actually catch that.
Because like John Carpenter made that up while he was drunk.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was like
Incredible.
He was drinking to like come up with like with new ideas, and he's like, Laurie's Michael's sister.
Damn. You know, okay, this is unrelated, but I watched another John Carpenter movie recently that I really liked. That was In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh,
remember that? Have you ever seen that?
I've heard.
It's
of
actually
it.
really
Isn't
good.
it like his first like?
No, this was in like 1995
Was
or
it?
something.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I'm thinking of a different movie.
Yeah, but it was great. It had Sam Neill, and just watch it. But anyway, I wanted to mention that because I just wanted to like say how crazy good John Carpenter is.
Yeah, he's really good. Like I don't know, like he said he came up with this Michael idea after he visited like a mental institution.
I mean, I can totally see that. Yeah,
I mean,
there's something wrong with him.
He said some guy stared at him, and it was like not like a stare he hasn't seen before. And that's
so
how
he met the real Michael Myers.
Yeah, that was his inspiration for Michael. That guy, like this is what he thought that guy was capable of, just being just. I mean, I guess the whole original mythos, like at least behind the first one, is Michael Myers is just evil. Like he's like a force of nature,
like evil incarnate,
and that's about it. Yeah. Like there was no like part 4, 5, and 6 took it to the next thing when they started with that cult bullshit in the fifth one. That shit didn't even start till the fifth one, and then that kind of ruined it. And then 5 and 6 were just thrown out, and then out came H2O. But I don't know. Maybe Halloween 2 shouldn't have been made either. But we would have been missing such a great fucking movie. Like it was just super suspenseful. Like you never knew where the fuck he was. And if you knew he was lurking in the hospital, you were wondering if who's gonna walk into the room and get it next. Like, where is he? Like,
you know what I really like though. Speaking of the hospital, I like that it all took place in this like one building, pretty much. You know?
Yeah, I really like those kind of movies.
Yeah, because I don't know, like obviously in fucking Haddonfield or whatever, like you know, it's a small town, so I like those kind of slasher movies as well. But it's so open, you know. So like, there's all this stalking stuff, which is creepy and great. But it doesn't really make you feel like, because when you feel like claustrophobic while you're watching like a slasher movie, it's great. That's why like the end part of Halloween, like just in the house, is fucking phenomenal, you know. But the rest of the movie is kind of like just this like adventure more so, you know, like it's really leading up to that stuff. But when the whole movie just takes place in this like one isolated building, like I think that's pretty cool because he's literally just going like room to room, like killing people and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just really like that. I think it adds like this cool element.
When I was little, I used to see Halloween 1 and 2 as one movie, and that the ending of part 1 had its climax, but I don't think that was the real climax. Like I think part 2 was like, if you see Halloween 1 and 2 as one movie, I see the like near the ending of Halloween 2 as the climax when Michael cuts that sheriff's throat and he goes after Loomis and Laurie in that room with all the oxygen tanks.
Yeah.
That was like the whole like deciding factor of what's gonna happen. And she shot him in the eyes and started bleeding. I had that mask, a replica of the bleeding Dick.
I remember, yeah.
Dick Warlock mask, yeah.
The Dick Warlock himself. Yeah. That movie's crazy. I mean, all the kills were pretty cool. The setting was awesome. The pacing and everything was really well. I mean, I think, Rick Rosenthal actually did like a really good job with it. Because it really feels like Carpenter.
Yeah.
In my opinion. And
the second one had a
it was
little
really
bit
suspenseful.
The second one had a little bit too much brutality for me to call it like
Sure.
Carpenter-esque, you know, because it had blood. It had like the. And
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that separates
His stuff is more like mind fucking, you know.
It's
because like there's it can be like graphic kind of and shit, but
Carpenter's scariness wasn't in like the blood and all that stuff. His scariness is in like this is happening to a regular person by another person. Like and he's just playing with these people. He's following them, dropping shit. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, nothing compares to Halloween 1 to me. Like that's my favorite horror movie of all time. Yeah. But the second one comes very close though. Halloween 1 just had that feel like, yo, something's not right. Part 2 we know.
Well, we know it's a slasher movie.
Yeah. But like in the first one, you know, like we know like the characters that Michael's going after, they don't know like the dangers there. Yeah. Like in the first one, we don't even know if he's gonna like kill people until he like who's the first person he kills? Was it Bob?
In part 2?
Like out of the teenagers, he kills Bob. And he kills then he kills No, I think he killed Annie first. And then Bob. He cut Annie's throat in the car. Then Bob, then Linda.
It's been a little while since I've watched it, so I don't remember like the order that much. I know like the nurse kill was like a little later, I think, or like midway through the movie or something like that. Yeah, where he like lifts her against the wall.
That was when the chase with Jamie Lee Curtis started. Yeah, that was like right before like the very final climax.
Okay, yeah. So like almost 3/4 of the way in or something like that. Exactly. Okay, so I don't know.
That's when Laurie was just limping around the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, like, it's been a little while since I've seen it, but yeah, something like that. But I mean, I thought all the kills and everything were really cool. I just really liked the movie a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I play Halloween 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. Here's my order. Every Halloween I'll watch Halloween 1, Halloween 2, then Halloween 4. Yeah. If I got time, play Halloween 5, and then just for shits and giggles, I'll either play Resurrection or like Rob Zombie's first one.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Like it's a Michael Myers-a-thon at my house on Halloween, nothing else.
That's great. I usually pick out like 10 movies or something like that I want to watch. Because I'll usually watch them like for maybe like 3 days or something. You know? Like leading up to Halloween and on Halloween and shit.
I watch a bunch of movies.
Or like have a whole week or whatever. Yeah.
Just to, like, it feels weird watching, like, I don't watch Jason movies on on Halloween, you know, like it has to be Michael because like no Jason movie was really on Halloween because, you know, Friday the 13th. Fair.
Yeah, so. I mean, I don't play movies that are just on Halloween or whatever. I mean, I those play like everything.
I honestly, one that's become a tradition for me is Trick or Treat.
Oh yeah, dude, I've watched Trick or Treat all the time. That's definitely
like that is like the. Listen, besides Halloween, that's the very second movie like. Yeah. Like that's like the best Halloween movie ever. Like,
I would agree with that.
It's Halloween and Trick or Treat.
Trick or Treat is awesome.
Oh, so much nostalgia.
I know.
I swear, I look back at this and I just feel like I'm old. Like the time's just flying by.
Yeah, dude. Fucking damn. I mean, yeah, even Trick or Treat.
That was 2007.
Yeah.
I was like fucking 11 years ago.
It's crazy.
And like for me, every time I think 2007, I think for some reason like 3 years ago. Like,
yeah, right.
But it's not.
It's weird. No, it's not at all. But
I don't know, man. I think these movies, like I think the thing about Halloween 2 is like you could make that like super modern. Like I think it withstands the test of time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it wasn't cheesy.
No, not at all. I mean, I could definitely see it. I mean, you know, slasher movies are in a weird place right now, but it totally would make sense.
I really hope that this Halloween movie catapults the slasher genre. Like at least like I hope we get like, look, I didn't like the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, but I'm really hoping they make another Freddy movie soon.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I hope so too. I just don't want it. I just don't want it to be like in that same type of mindset, I guess, that the remake was in, because it just didn't make any sense to me.
You know what I want?
I didn't need to do Freddy like that.
I want a new Hellraiser movie, but I don't want Netflix to make. I want it to go to, like, be in theaters, so it's like,
oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe Blumhouse takes.
Oh, it's been a long ass time since there's been a Hellraiser movie in theaters.
Blumraiser should take a fucking
Blumhouse.
Yeah, they should take the fucking. Did I say Blumraiser?
Yeah, you said Blumraiser.
That could be the name of the movie.
Blumraiser. Bro, like, it would be, honestly, because you can tell a Blumhouse movie like easy.
I'm glad they're like keeping Chucky alive though, but all these these icons need to stay alive, bro. Like
I hope so.
Like in some way or another.
Yeah, this fucking Jason lawsuit better get settled like real quick. so we can have Jason.
They
back.
owe me my skin for fucking Uber Jason from Jason X. They promised us that.
Yeah.
And now because this lawsuit, I can't get my Uber Jason.
That sucks, man.
I still play Friday the 13th.
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
And Dead by Daylight because Myers and Freddy and
Yeah.
the chick from Saw and
I hope they do put
Leatherface.
Chucky in. That would be cool. Or like some kind of doll, you know?
Yeah. It would be creepy.
Yeah.
Like, because you wouldn't see it coming. Just like a small fucking teddy bear.
The pig thing.
Did you
from
see the
Saw,
clown?
Like doesn't count. Yeah, I saw the clown.
The clown's dope.
Yeah, I haven't seen him like played, but anyway. Any final thoughts on Halloween 2?
My final thought is trust me, this Halloween, what you're going to do if you're an adult, meaning you don't party, you know, you're an adult. So you go to Party City, you get yourself 8 different kinds of candy, like half a pound each.
Ooh.
You go back to your house, chill in your living room, pull the shades down, turn the lights off, pop in Halloween 1 when you get done, pop in Halloween 2. When you get done, pop in Halloween 4.
Perfect.
When you get done, pop in Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
And have a good night.
That sounds awesome. Yeah, because like I want to be watching a movie when it's like midnight on Halloween. You know, I want it to like transition.
Oh, I don't
into
sleep.
Halloween.
On Halloween. I don't sleep till like 5, 6 in the morning.
Especially if it's a fucking weekend.
Yeah,
I'm just watching horror movies.
I want to just get obese from eating candy.
Yeah,
like that's why I think that's why Michael Myers, I love it so much because like it reminds me like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Halloween, the best holiday of all time.
Yeah. I mean, and you know what the weird part is? Like, obviously it takes place, like, on Halloween. But other than that, like, there aren't, like, pumpkins, like, all over the place necessarily. I mean, for some of them.
That's the thing I like about the Myers movies, though. Because, like, most of them have, like, pumpkins. It's really festive. Like, for me, my favorite season is fall. My favorite holiday is Halloween. Of course. You know, like, October is, like, the best month of all time.
Yeah. I guess where I was going with that was just like it's weird to see a guy in a William Shatner mask. Yeah, it was associate it with Halloween. You know,
it was just a Shatner mask that had the eye holes like opened.
Yeah,
it had the hair ripped off, and then they just rehaired it and repainted it, and that was it.
Yeah.
They just opened the eye holes. If you gave me a Captain Kirk,
if
you give me a Captain Kirk mask, if you find one, I can convert it to a Myers mask for you.
Yeah, we'll see.
I did my own work with I have the replicas of the part 1 and the part 2 one with the bloody eyes. Like
that's sweet.
Alan has the the bloody eyes one.
Oh yeah,
I might ask him to send me a photo.
Yeah, for sure. I'd love to see it. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with all of that. Like I said, it's been a little while since I've seen it, but I watch this movie a lot because I really like it. The hospital setting is like really cool.
I love it, bro.
The soundtrack obviously is fantastic.
Like, Halloween was a 5 out of 5 for me. This one's like 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would even maybe give it a 5 out of 5. I mean, it kind of feels like one film. Like you said,
I have a very strong emotional attachment to this movie. I swear to God, if you said $3 billion to never watch the Halloween series again, I would say keep your fucking money.
Yeah,
I swear, I'm not even joking. Bring me $3 billion. I'll reject you.
I would take it, and I'd still watch like one movie, like the first Halloween, because I'd be like, you said franchise, not single movie.
Yeah, that's true.
You son of a bitch.
Loopholes.
So anyway, we're going to move on from one great horror franchise to a bunch of great horror franchises, but in particular, one phenomenal, legendary horror, really content producer, author, producer, Stephen King. And we're going to talk about Hulu's Castle Rock.
Oh my God, bro. I'm so happy you showed me this because... Yeah. And like I said, I'm really happy you showed me right when the series started. Like a new episode just came out, and I'm only one episode behind.
Yeah. So season 1, episode 6 came out today. It comes out every Wednesday, and it's a weekly show. And I actually like that it's weekly. But episode 6 came out today, and I think it's supposed to be like a 10-episode season, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. But yeah, it's still like really like early on in the show's life, basically, because they released the first 3 episodes first, and then, so 4, 5, and now 6 were like the weekly episodes after it premiered. So.
Yeah.
But I mean,
every Wednesday.
Yeah, a lot has happened. I'm really digging the show a lot.
I'm really digging oh my God, the score. Dude,
the sound design is like phenomenal.
Oh my God, 10 out of 10 for like the fucking... this show is fucking eerie.
Yeah, it really is, yeah.
But it's like super suspenseful. I'm in episode 5 and I still don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, the thing I like about this show a lot is that, well, first of all, if you're not really sure what Castle Rock is, just be aware we might have some spoilers and stuff like that. But basically, it's a show that takes place in the universe of Stephen King, and it takes place in this town, Castle Rock, Maine, and Castle Rock is the setting of many of his works, a lot of his novels like Needful Things. I think Stand By Me takes place in Castle Rock too. I could be wrong about that though. But there's like multiple stories that take place in Castle Rock, and they're all kind of like interwoven. Like pretty much all of his work is like, you'll see mentions of Pennywise or like characters from like The Stand and shit like that, and like other novels.
Yeah, there's like recurring names. Like,
yeah,
I just noticed that today after I got to episode 4. I'm like, they use a lot of names.
Yeah,
they use a lot of names.
So Castle Rock, because it contains like all these stories, it's a very like interconnected show. There's a lot of like Stephen King Easter eggs and things like that, and like they might actually have like relevance, like things from those universes in Castle Rock. So I think it's really cool, because we're kind of seeing a lot of different like Stephen King things. Like there's Easter eggs for Stand By Me, Cujo. The show takes place at like Shawshank Prison.
Yeah, dude.
So
like
Shawshank.
It's all like in the same universe, I think. Either that or it's like inspired by like the universe, and it is also in the universe.
No, like I think they are actually in it, because like even from The Shining, like all those characters, the Outlook Hotel, like that's all in Castle Rock, the show, like for real. So
I'm gonna start writing.
Stuff is
I'm gonna start writing horror novels. Stephen King is gonna be my inspiration.
Oh, dude, like he's just a genius.
I'm serious.
And this show is definitely a really smart show, because
it really is.
It's kind of slow, a little bit. Like at least the first 3 episodes, I feel like are pretty slow, and then it like really starts picking up. But it's all about the mystery. It's all about the characters that are affected by all the stuff that goes on, because Castle Rock is just like this really weird town, and basically the story revolves around this one character in particular, played by Bill Skarsgård, none other than Pennywise himself.
Yeah, that's weird.
And basically you're not sure like who he is or what he is, but it all seems to take place around him. And there's this guy Henry Deaver, portrayed by Andre Holland, who is like a criminal defense lawyer. Like he represents death row inmates, and they find this guy portrayed by Bill Skarsgård in like a cage in some like weird room in this prison, and he says Henry Deaver's name, so they call for him, and he comes to like represent him. But basically all this weird shit happens.
Yeah, and wherever the kid goes, like really bad things happen. Yeah,
basically. So even like now we're not sure like what he is or who he is, but it's very creepy. So there's like a lot of unanswered questions in this show. All the characters have like their own interesting kind of like subplot going on, and there's a lot of really cool Easter eggs. I just really like it. Like it's very suspenseful, it's intelligent. There's like a good mystery. Like it makes you want to watch the next episode, so like maybe you'll know what's going on. Kind of like it's that kind of show, So I'm really digging it like a lot.
So far, yes, man, yes. Yeah. Like it's kind of like some of the scenes like take too long. Like one of the characters will be like surprised, and there'll be creepy music for a long time. They'll be just looking around, and it'll cut to a next scene. But like other than that, like I haven't really not too many downs about the show. Like the acting's really, really good.
Phenomenal, yeah.
The mystery is just like fucking really, really a mystery, man. Like,
yeah. It's one of those like more kind of subdued Stephen King stories, because it's not, it does seem to be supernatural in nature, but it's not like fucking monsters and, like magic and all the like vampires and all this crazy shit. Like you're not really sure what's going on, but there seems to be a lot of kind of human elements to it. A lot of very personal like drama, but then like there's something weird, like what I think is affecting Henry and the girl Molly is probably The Shining.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have that ability. They call it something different in the show, but like I don't know, I think that's kind of what it is. And then the one girl, I don't know if you got to the scene yet, so I'm sorry if I'm spoiling it, but the chick that was the girl from Evil Dead, her, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, but she's in the show. Like
the one that kept asking if he really did it. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so, maybe. It's like the blonde girl.
Yeah, with the short hair, kind of.
Yeah, she was the same girl from Evil Dead, the remake.
Yeah, yeah.
And she mentions that she had an uncle that like killed his wife and son or whatever at a hotel.
Oh shit, The Shining.
Yeah, because her name is Jackie Torrance in the show. Torrance. So, but she says like, no, I don't know. But anyway, there's that kind of scene. So I think it might be The Shining that they have. So there's like that supernatural element, and then whatever the fuck Bill Skarsgård's character is.
Yeah, I don't know what he is.
But yeah, it's a very like human show, so I kind of like that. But I kind of almost wish that there was just more action to it in some scenes. But I think that's really like my only real criticism, and it looks like super gloomy, so I don't know if I like that or not.
I like that. I really like the
kind of do too.
Gloomy atmosphere, bro. Like this show is just fucking depressing, and like
it really is.
And it's really emotion invoking, you know. Like I was like that scene we just watched really didn't make me feel really good at all.
No,
like,
yeah, definitely not. Episode 5, there's a really crazy scene with Bill Skarsgård's character, and it's super creepy and like just really fucked up. He doesn't even do anything. Yeah. So if you've seen it, you know what we're talking about. But that was like one of my favorite scenes. It was
so far that's
really
one of the
effective.
Most crazy fucking things I've seen.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I like it because even that scene kind of illustrates that. I think what it kind of is about is like people having not like really secrets, maybe secrets. I think those are definitely like a big part of the show, but just having like these repressed feelings and like not saying things that they should say to people around them.
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of a big theme in it because we see a lot of that. And it's like steadily becoming like more apparent, you know.
They keep talking about the fifth trumpet, and then like I noticed Bill Skarsgård character asked Henry Deaver, "Do you hear it?" I think he meant the trumpets. Yeah. And you know, biblically, what happens when the fifth trumpet gets blown is the angel Abaddon, who's the king of the locusts, opens the bottomless pit.
Yeah.
And, like to kill all of those who don't have the name of God on them, like.
Oh wow.
So like this guy could be Abaddon the Destroyer, if it's not following Stephen King lore, but if it is, that could be what Pennywise is. They just never touched on it.
Yeah, I don't know. There is a theory going around that Bill Skarsgård, his character might be Pennywise, which is an interesting theory, and I'm not sure if it's true because I feel like maybe they don't want to connect it like explicitly like that because it's supposed to be Castle Rock. I mean, it takes place in Derry, so it's not even like the same town, but
yeah.
But this might be like a different incarnation of Pennywise, and it might be taking place in Castle Rock, but that just seems so unlikely because it's so like tied to Derry. It just wouldn't really make sense to me, so I'm not sure about that. That's like the only reason I might think that it's not Pennywise, because that like entity and the town of Derry just have like this huge history.
Yeah. And
like it's basically like intertwined, That's how they describe it when all the characters are like mentally drawn back to Derry. Like that's like the source of fucking evil. And Castle Rock is kind of like that too as a town, but in like sort of different ways,
Yeah.
Like it's not just by like this one entity. There's like multiple fucked up things about Castle Rock. So,
but if I feel like that. I feel like the bad things would happen even if they kept him in the cage. Like he just like wherever he's even kept. That's probably why Castle Rock was so fucked up, because he was there at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean he could have been there forever. So that's a very Pennywise like thing.
He was just as old as the warden who locked him up. Mm-hmm. Because he told him, he's like, you're young, but I got old. Like,
yeah, implying that there's some kind of potential immortality.
Yeah.
To Bill Skarsgård's character.
Could be like a fucking vampire or something.
I mean, that's possible. I mean, he's walking around in daylight and shit, though, so I don't know. It's like a super powerful, the original, old vampire.
Original vampire lore wasn't like...
Yeah,
they wouldn't get burned by sunlight and shit.
Yeah, that was the Hollywood type thing.
Exactly.
But So I don't know. I mean, we had like fucking what's his name from Salem's Lot. So it's possible. I don't know.
Was it Barlow?
Yeah, Count Barlow, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. So I don't know. Anything's possible. I don't think I've seen any Easter eggs pointing to Salem's Lot yet, but I think we're gonna see like more and more Easter eggs, hopefully, of like different, stories and things.
Hopefully we can peep them out. If not, we'll just go on YouTube, like Easter eggs in Castle Rock. I'm sure they have a video
They're
up
gonna come
already.
out. Oh yeah, there's like articles and shit like that, like really up to date, like even to today's episode.
Yeah, there's some people who are more nerds than us. Like,
oh yeah, like big time.
I just want to watch it and enjoy it. Like I'm.
Yeah, I mean, I like catching like the Easter eggs and stuff. Like as I'm watching it, I don't necessarily want to. I mean, I kind of did for like the episode, but but I'm not gonna like just sit there on a normal day like Castle Rock Easter eggs.
Yeah, don't be a fucking nerd about it. Yeah. Bro.
Like, if I'm talking about it on the podcast. But
it's so fucking good, bro.
It really is really good. It's got an 86% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. At least that was as of yesterday, so it might even be more. I don't know. But J.J. Abrams and Stephen King as the executive producers. It's got an all-star cast. We didn't really talk about this character either, but like the most explicit like Castle Rock connection is with Alan Pangborn.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
The sheriff. Yep.
Because what was he doing out there when he found Henry?
Yeah, right. I don't know. So he's like really connected in a big way, and he's in like a lot of the Castle Rock stories.
Yeah.
As like, kind of like the saving grace, like the good, character.
Seems like an underappreciated character. Henry's kind of a dick to him.
Yeah.
Just probably because the guy loves his mom.
I mean, he's kind of like an anti-hero because, he's kind of like, rough on the exterior.
And he's like self-righteous.
But, yeah.
He does whatever he thinks is like.
Right. He's one of those
like, cops. He's a cop, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks that he is the law, basically.
Yeah.
That's why he stands up to Bill Skarsgård's character, like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a really good scene, actually. It's actually at the end of this episode. So I really want you to finish watching episode number 5.
Oh, I am. Because
the ending is fucking crazy. So, yeah. I mean, I don't really know what more to say about it. I really like the show.
Just watch it. It's perfect just in time for the fall.
Yeah. And
like when it's like fucking, when it gets dark at 6:00 outside and those gray fucking winter clouds are there and your fucking leaves are just falling off your trees. Everything's just dying. This was like in perfect time because it's coming, bro.
It's really creepy. It's grim. It's gloomy, and there's this really good mystery. So basically, if you binge watch this show, you're gonna have a great time. It kind of sucks having to wait each week, but it's for a good reason because I think the show is so good and the mystery is so good. I just want to know what happens next.
Yeah, I don't want to like binge watch it. Wait for like the whole season and watch everything. I like waiting those weeks because like. Yeah, like that's why they release.
It makes you think about it and theorize and shit,
Yeah, and then like the real episode comes out and you're either like, I knew it, or holy shit, that's even better than what I thought.
Because if we had binged it, then I would already know exactly what happens. You would already know what happens, and then we'd just be talking about the whole show, which is fine. But like, I like
debating,
waiting for it and theorizing and stuff.
Yeah, I like debating our points too. Like, oh, I think it might be this. Oh, it can't be that because this. And it's like, oh, but what if this? Like,
yeah. I mean, do you think it's Pennywise? Do you think it's not Pennywise? Do you think it's the devil or not? Like, what do you think Bill Skarsgård's character is? What do you think Alan Pangborn has to do with it? What do you think Henry Deaver has? I don't know. There's just a lot of like questions, and I think it's cool. So I want to know what you guys think. Let us know what your like theories are, what you think of the show so far. What you want to see, what you didn't like, whatever, we just want to talk about it. And I'm going to try to like talk about it with people every week.
Okay.
And just get like, I mean, not like on here necessarily, but, on our social media and stuff. I want to talk to people about, what they thought of like the newest episode and like what their theories and shit are and their reactions. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're probably going to do that, but let us know what you guys think of it so far. And I don't really have that much more to say. I think it's a phenomenal show so far. I think the acting and just the mood of the show and the score are just so good. And
yeah, I think this is like just what I needed, bro.
Yeah. Hulu did a fantastic job.
Because I'm so like tired of just clicking on random horror movies. Now I got a horror show. Yeah. I finished Stand Against Evil. Well, at least what's on Hulu.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start Ash versus. Well, I'm gonna finish watching Ash versus Evil Dead, but this is what I'm kind of like. This is like my main like.
Oh, this is such a perfect show right now because like it's mid-August.
Like Stranger Things.
Halloween.
I just got done with Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
So like, now it's Castle Rock.
Castle Rock is great. I just read something that Stranger Things, season 3 is supposed to be like way darker.
Yeah, I read that too.
Show.
Yeah, than it has been so far. Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that.
So much good stuff coming out.
I think Hulu is doing an excellent job like competing with Netflix, especially with a show like this. Like it's perfect in time for Halloween, for fall. So yeah, I can't recommend Castle Rock highly enough. Like I said, even if you're not a Stephen King fan, I think you're really gonna like this show because it's got a lot of suspense, a lot of mystery. You don't really have to know like Stephen King type stuff to just enjoy the show and be like intrigued by it.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely go check it out. But right now, we're gonna move on to our very last segment of the episode, and it is the chopping block. And this week's chopping block is going to be about a little movie called The Strangers.
And we picked this one out because they just added it to Netflix. It's on the most popular stuff. It's trending now, and it's a new release to Netflix. So figured might as well bring that shit up. And I saw this one in theaters way back in the day, and I haven't seen it since. And watching it again made me realize why I really liked it. This was like a first one of those like people outside in masks, like home invasion type stuff.
I think this movie, I would even go so far as to say it's probably genuinely scary too, or like frightening,
Yeah.
So I don't know, because I just think all of the shots are like like really, like they make you uneasy, kind of,
Yeah, it makes you think something's out there.
Yeah,
like it's like those type of.
Even the one in the house, like when we first see him in the house, he's like standing off in the corner, or like he walks up or whatever, and then you kind of notice, like you don't notice initially.
Yeah.
And then you see him, and you're like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And like I hope she doesn't turn around, because if she turns around, she's gonna fucking die.
The whole movie was fucked up. I mean, so this one starts off like. So, like, a couple, they're obviously distraught. The guy proposed to his chick, and she said no. And then they're at, like, a family house, and he's like, hey, buddy, he calls his friend, can you pick me up from here? I don't want to be here. So, like, him and his girl start getting into that emotional stuff, and then some blonde chick knocks on their door. He's like, hey, is Tamara here? No Tamara. You sure? Positive.
Does he actually pronounce it like that? I think it's Tamara. I think she says Tamara.
Really?
Yeah. What were you saying? Tamara?
Tamara. I thought it was
Tamara.
I know I wasn't.
I think it's Tamara.
No, it was Tamara.
Yeah, it's Tamara, bro.
They pronounce names fucked up.
People call you. Well, I don't want to say your actual name, but people pronounce it differently.
Yeah.
Because they're idiots, but whatever. People can't fucking pronounce my name at all. So.
Yeah, because your name is very complicated.
Yeah, true. My full name. But anywho, I think it's Tamara. But yeah. You can continue. Yeah, she knocks at the door.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Is she there?" And they're like, "No." And she's like, "See you later," which was like, that's already like kind of off-putting. Like, yo, don't be weird coming to my house. And the thing is, when he tried to turn on the porch light to look at her face, he couldn't because the light bulb had been unscrewed. Like that was the first sign. I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, it was. They were like very methodical. They obviously knew what they were doing. And they just planned this whole thing. They were creepy as shit. You had no idea why they were tormenting this couple, but they just like continually terrorize them until they're inside the house finally. And I think the really cool thing is like there were really only 5 characters throughout the entire movie. Well, right, and you can, not technically, but for the most part,
his friend who got fucked up.
Yeah, looking Dennis.
Yeah, it was Dennis.
Yeah, it was. But other than him, it was really just like the 5 characters, and it was very isolated, and things were happening, but it didn't really get like graphic or anything until later in the movie. But I think that was fine.
Yeah,
because it was just a very unsettling film in general. Like the way they used light, the camera work.
I like that there was no like really motive either.
And you know what I also kind of noticed? There wasn't really like a lot of music. I don't think.
No, there wasn't. It was just quietness. It would be like a kick at the front door, breaking. It
actually like made you feel like you were those characters, like you were inside the movie, because It was very quiet until like something actually happened, and then you were really caught off guard. And movies do that a lot, but they do it very like inconsistently. Like literally, just when something is about to happen, that's when the music goes off.
And you know, in the second Strangers, it was like the same villains from the first one.
Yeah,
that was just their that was just their last encounter with someone they shouldn't have. Like
that's kind of fucked up. Like when you think about it that way, it almost makes it feel like it shouldn't be a movie because it's just leading up until like
these
another movie, you know?
Yeah, it's just leading up to these people getting killed off.
Yeah, it's like, did I really have to watch it?
Prey at Night was good. I liked it.
I did like it. I think the weird part about that transition is that we still don't really like learn who these fucking characters are.
I think they were
it's
like
almost pointless.
I think they were just some Mansonites, you know, like from the.
Yeah, but it just felt like it was like a snuff film.
Yeah, it really did.
You really don't learn shit. You just see these people get killed, and then you don't learn shit in the second movie, really. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah.
I do think that if you're interested in watching The Strangers, you should definitely check it out because
I think you
it's
should,
a very unsettling film.
It's going to make you paranoid about like just being at home or being anywhere where you don't know. Someone knocks at your door, you're like, fuck that shit.
Yeah, you hear something like outside the window that night and you're like, oh man, I'm moving out. I'm just taking all my shit.
Like, you know, if they just didn't, you know, they wouldn't have got killed if they just didn't, if they like just left it alone. If someone knocked at their door and they just didn't like answer.
Bro, that late at night, I would never answer the door unless I saw explicitly that it was like a police officer and there was a police car outside and shit.
Yeah, dude. Other than that, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no, I'm not opening the door for anybody.
Fuck that.
Even if you showed up on my door, I'd be like, hey, what's up, bro? I was like out of the window or
I
something.
wouldn't even talk like if anyone's at my door. I wouldn't let them know someone's home.
Yeah.
Because then they'll try to fuck with me.
Like I said, if it was you and I knew it was you or something, then I would do that. But other than that, like I wouldn't even talk to anybody.
I got you.
I'd be like, I just pretend that I was like dead asleep.
Yeah.
Like I'm not waking up for anything.
Yeah, fuck that.
But in reality, I'm like in bed watching like a black and white horror movie.
Exactly. I don't know. Strangers is like, yeah, it's like very real life ish. Yeah. So like it's nothing really fantasy. Like you're gonna shoot the guy and he's gonna get back up and come after you. Mm-hmm. It's just three people who just got you surrounded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very realistic. It's definitely gonna make you paranoid. So in my opinion, it is not Chopped.
No, it's not Chopped.
You should go to Netflix and watch this movie tonight if you want to watch something that's probably actually gonna like make you scared or at least make you like a little nervous at night, you know.
I mean, it spawned a lot of knockoffs. Mm-hmm. Jackals, Wolves at the Door, mm-hmm. all those Manson-esque, like You're Next, the one with like these masked like even assailants with bow and arrows and
even
stuff.
Like Don't Breathe was kind of in that genre, kind of sort of. Yeah. I mean, a little bit, but yeah, these like home invasion movies like really picked up steam. Like pretty recently, actually.
It was after the remake of When a Stranger Calls. Mm-hmm. That's when they picked up, because that came out in 2006. Then Strangers came out the next year, so this was like the father of the new eight. Actually, this was like the first offspring of like these stranger movies. The first was obviously When a Stranger Calls. Yeah, because like I said, I think that was 2006 and this was 2007.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think at least in like movies, the only thing that comes close to as being as scary as like the unknown is like shit that can actually happen in real life.
Yeah, just some crazy dude who's been watching you for 2 years, and after the 2 years, he just decided to kill you for whatever fucking reason. Maybe Saw. Yeah. Saw was fucked.
Saw was pretty fucking crazy because you totally knew that. Like, I mean, it's kind of far fetched, but you know that could happen in real life. So,
I mean, crazy people exist everywhere in all walks of life.
Yeah, very true. So, yeah, I definitely recommend that you go check out The Strangers if you have not. And I think Strangers Prey at Night is already out. So, I mean, we recommend that one as well. If you haven't listened to our review of that film, you could go check it out. Go check out our show archive on sportsradiodetroit.com, and you can find that episode. But I think with that, it's pretty much going to do it. Thanks for sticking around.
We're back. Episode. We're back.
It was a bit of a long one because we had some, catching up to do, but we're back and we're gonna keep it going on a weekly basis. And I think this weekend we're gonna go check out a newer horror movie, maybe Slender Man or The Meg or something. And
yes,
probably gonna give you a review on that next week.
Because we did when we still did the terrifying trailers, we did Slender Man. It looked goofy, but I'm hearing good things on the Facebook pages and stuff like that. So
I hear mostly negative things about it, but I am interested in seeing it because I have heard people say that like the psychological and like supernatural elements were pretty good actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty pumped for it.
I heard it's not really jump scares. It's like atmospheric.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I
that like Slender Man buzzing like.
I just don't want him to mess up his character too much. But
yeah, I don't either.
But if we do check that out, you'll be able to hear our review of that probably next week. But if you've seen it, let us know what you think. And let us know what you think of Castle Rock, The Strangers, Halloween 2, all that stuff. We love talking with you guys. As always, you can do that via our social media. Just look up Grave Discussions on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And, of course, as always, our hosts as well are fantastic. And you should go check out all of their shows, including ours, Sports Radio Detroit. You can find them on the same platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just look up Sports Radio Detroit. And I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up.
It is. And who are you?
I'm Barnabas.
And I am Samael. And we will see you next week on Grave Discussions.
This has been an SRD production.